World News Today. Spy cockroaches and AI robots. Germany plots the future of warfare. Munich, Berlin, Frankfurt, July 23. Reuters. For Gundbert Scherf, the co-founder of Germany's Helsing, Europe's most valuable defense startup, Russia's invasion of Ukraine changed everything. Scherf had to fight hard to attract investment after starting his company, which produces military strike drones and battlefield AI, 4 years ago. Now, that's the least of his problems. The Munich-based company more than doubled its valuation to $12 billion at a fundraising last month. Europe this year, for the first time in decades, is spending more on defense technology acquisition, opens new tab than the US, said Scherf. The former partner at McKinsey & Company says Europe may be on the cusp of a transformation in defense innovation akin to the Manhattan Project, the scientific push that saw the US rapidly develop nuclear weapons during World War II. Europe is now coming to terms with defense. Reuters spoke to 24 executives, investors, and policymakers to examine how Germany, Europe's largest economy, aims to play a central role in the rearming the continent. Chancellor Friedrich Merz's government views AI and startup technology as key to its defense plans and is slashing bureaucracy to connect startups directly to the upper echelons of its military, the sources told Reuters. Shaped by the trauma of Nazi militarism and a strong post-war pacifist ethos, Germany long maintained a relatively small and cautious defense sector, sheltered by U.S. security guarantees. Germany's business model, shaped by a deep aversion to risk, has also favored incremental improvements over disruptive innovation. No more. With U.S. military support now more uncertain, Germany, one of the biggest backers of Ukraine, plans to nearly triple its regular defense budget to around €162 billion, $175 billion, per year by 2029. Much of that money will go into reinventing the nature of warfare, the sources said. Helsing is part of a wave of German defense startups developing cutting-edge technology, from tank-like AI robots and unmanned mini-submarines to battle-ready spy cockroaches. We want to help give Europe its spine back, said Scherf. Some of these smaller firms are now advising the government alongside established firms, so-called primes such as Rheinmetall, RHMG.de, opens new tab, and Hensoldt, HAGG.de, opens new tab, that have less incentive to focus primarily on innovation, given their long backlogs for conventional systems, one of the sources said. A new draft procurement law, approved by Merz's cabinet on Wednesday, aims to reduce hurdles for cash-strapped startups to join tenders by enabling advance payment to these firms. Mark Wyattfeld, CEO and founder of autonomous robots maker ARX Robotics, said a recent meeting with German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius hammered home how deep the rethink in Berlin goes. He told me, "Money is no longer an excuse, it's there now." That was a turning point, he said. Germany in the lead. Since Donald Trump's return to the political stage and his renewed questioning of America's commitment to NATO, Germany has committed to meet the alliance's new target of 3.5% of GDP on defense spending by 2029, faster than most European allies. Officials in Berlin have emphasized the need to foster a European defense industry rather than rely on U.S. companies. But the hurdles towards scaling up industry champions in Germany, and Europe more broadly, are considerable. Unlike in the United States, the market is fragmented in Europe. Each country has its own set of procurement standards to fulfill contracts. The United States, the world's top military spender, already has an established stable of defense giants, like Lockheed Martin and RTX, and an advantage in key areas, including satellite technology, fighter jets and precise guided munitions. Washington also began boosting defense tech startups in 2015, including Shield AI, drone maker Anduril and software company Palantir, by awarding them parts of military contracts. European startups until recently languished with little government support. But an analysis by Aviation Week in May showed Europe's 19 top defense spenders, including Turkey and Ukraine, were projected to spend $180.1 billion this year on military procurement compared to $175.6 billion for the United States. Washington's overall military spending will remain higher. Hans-Christoph Spodian, head of Germany's Security and Defense Sector Association BDSV, said one challenge was that the military's procurement system was geared toward established suppliers and not well suited to the fast pace that new technologies require. Germany's defense ministry said in a statement it was taking steps to accelerate procurement and to better integrate startups in order to make new technologies quickly available to the Bundeswehr. Annette Lennox-Emden, head of the Armed Forces' powerful procurement agency, highlighted drones and AI as emerging fields that Germany needs to develop. The changes they're bringing to the battlefield are as revolutionary as the introduction of the machine gun, tank, or airplane, she told Reuters. Spy cockroaches. Sven Weisnegger, who heads up the Cyber Innovation Hub, the Bundeswehr's innovation accelerator, said the war in Ukraine was also changing social attitudes, removing a stigma towards working in the defense sector. Germany has developed a whole new openness towards the issue of security since the invasion, he said. Weisnegger said he was receiving 20 to 30 LinkedIn requests a day, compared to maybe 2 to 3 weekly back in 2020, with ideas for defense technology to develop. Some of the ideas under development feel akin to science fiction, like swarm biotactic cyborg cockroaches that are equipped with specialized miniature backpacks that enable real-time data collection via cameras, for example. Electrical stimuli should allow humans to control the insects' movements remotely. The aim is for them to provide surveillance information in hostile environments, for example information about enemy positions. Our biorobots, based on living insects, are equipped with neural stimulation, sensors, and secure communication modules, said CEO Stefan Wilhelm. They can be steered individually or operate autonomously in swarms. In the first half of the 20th century, German scientists pioneered many military technologies that became global standards, from ballistic missiles to jet aircraft and guided weapons. But following its defeat in World War II, Germany was demilitarized and its scientific talent was dispersed. Wernher von Braun, who invented the first ballistic missile for the Nazis, was one of hundreds of German scientists and engineers transported to the United States in the wake of World War II, where he later worked at NASA and developed the rocket that took Apollo spacecraft to the Moon. In recent decades, defense innovation has been a powerful driver of economic progress. Tech like the Internet, GPS, semiconductors, and jet engines originated in military research programs before transforming civilian life. Hit by high energy prices, a slowdown in demand for its exports and competition from China, Germany's $4.75 trillion economy contracted over the last 2 years. Expanding military research could provide an economic fillip. We just need to get to this mindset. A strong defense industrial base means a strong economy and innovation on steroids, said Marcus Federal, managing partner at defense-focused investment firm Tholis Capital. Escaping the Valley of Death. Risk aversion among European investors had in the past disadvantaged startups, which struggled to get the capital they need to survive the Valley of Death, the critical early stage when costs are high and sales low. But a boost in defense spending by European governments following Russia's invasion of Ukraine has investors looking for opportunities. Europe now boasts 3 startups with a unicorn valuation of more than $1 billion: Helsing, German drone maker Quantum Systems, and Portugal's Takever, which also manufactures drones. There's a lot of pressure now on Germany being the lead nation of the European defense, said Sven Kruk, Quantum's chief strategy officer. Germany has become Ukraine's second biggest military backer after the United States. Orders that might once have taken years to approve now take months, and European startups have had the opportunity to test their products quickly in the field, several sources said. Venture capital funding of European defense tech hit $1 billion in 2024, up from a modest $373 million in 2022, and is expected to surge even more this year. Society has recognized that we have to defend our democracies, said Christian Saller, general partner at HV Capital, an investor in both ARX and Quantum Systems. Venture capital funding has grown faster in Germany than elsewhere, according to a data analysis by Dealroom for Reuters. German defense startups have received $1.4 billion in the last 5 years from investors, followed by UK, the data shows. Jack Wang, partner at venture capital firm Project A, said many German defense startups rooted in the country's engineering prowess are good at integrating established components into scalable systems. Quality of talent in Europe is extremely high, but as a whole, there's no better country, no better talent that we've seen other than in Germany, he said. Weakness in Germany's automotive industry means there is production capacity to spare, including in the Mittelstand, the small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, that form the backbone of Germany's economy. Stefan Thumann, CEO of Bavarian startup Denostal, which produces loitering munitions, said he receives 3 to 5 applications daily from workers at automotive companies. The startups just need the brains to do the engineering and prototyping, he said. And the German Mittelstand will be their muscles. Thank you. See you tomorrow.